What is up, everyone? MS Element here. Super excited to be back from our little Nats end of the year hiatus. I'm super excited. We're gonna start doing content with TCG medals and the team merge. But today, I wanted to make this video to showcase some of the power of set 16 in the form of a deck profile for Black Mass Saiyan. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, so like I said, super excited showcasing this Black Messiah deck. So the start of the show, obviously, our Black Messiah set 5 leader. On Awaken side, you swing, you burst 3, and you draw 1, which is important because it helps you get cards in your drop for Overwhelm. And then on the Awaken side, active main, you don't have to swing. He bursts 3, and you can grab any black card from your drop. Important drop, not warp, and he gets 5k, so he's swinging for 20k, and it lets you recycle any black card. That's a theme of the deck that we're going to be seeing on how to recycle a lot of good cards from this deck. So to start off, obviously we're running a Saiyan leader, so we're going to take advantage of that. So we play 4 of the 0 10k Kai if you have 5 cards in hand, and then 3 Trunks. He's a 4 life Awakener, and he untaps 2 on Awaken. On the Awaken, he doesn't draw. So it's good to have stuff to self awaken, and he's also good as a defensive tool, as a blocker. Pretty decent card. Then, and the other important thing is that we have to keep in mind that that Kai is a god, which is extremely relevant in this deck specifically. So continuing with the gods package, we have Time Choice, Supreme Kai of Time, Overwhelm 3, pretty good. Let me put the pretty one on top. Judge promo. Yeah, there we go. Burst Overwhelm for 3, which is really easy. You can do it turn 1, and you pick at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you grab 1 battle card, put the rest on the bottom of the deck. This lets you see what cards you have, and it helps a little bit with understanding when to burst and when not to burst. And very important, she's a god card. Then to continue our god package, we run 3 of the Supreme Kai Negate. Stupid card. It's super good. Just for 1 energy, you get to counter something and warp something from the field. Again, important. She's a god card that you can play on your opponent's turn. So that's for our god packages. We run 2 power bursts and 3 of the new blocker negate. Again, going back to the theme of this, you need to go to 4. This helps you a lot, and it's really good defensive tool. And we run 2 of the power bursts because we can pick up our 1 drop Kai. And recycling a 10k combo is really good. So for our super combos, we're running 3 of the Kai and 1 Goten. I honestly, this would be a 4th Kai. I just couldn't find my 4th copy. But yeah, pretty simple. Also, she's a god. That's why I prefer her. Because if I'm on a bad spot and I need a god on field, I can pay 2 and play her. I don't mind. Then for the Overwhelm package of the deck, we're running 4 of the Demigra Unison. Is such a good card for decks that overwhelm and want to go wide. This helps this deck also because you can 1 recycle with the -3, but you can move and manipulate your warp and drop, which is really important in this deck. That's our Unison of choice. Then we run 3 of the Ravager Vegeta. We run 1 of the Time Overseeing Time Trunks, 1 Bardock for the draw, and then some beefy boys, 30Ks. These are staple black cards. If you're not playing these cards in black Overwhelm deck, you're doing something wrong. This lets you recycle cards that go to the drop from the burst. This helps you burst more, which lets you see your deck a little bit more. Like, you don't mind bursting, you don't mind that your cards go on the drop because you can recycle absolutely any card in the deck, which is really, really good. And then for some removal, we run, because we have the luxury of being a Black Saiyan leader only, we run barrier removal on one, and obviously two thwartings. If you're not playing this, this is the real spice, you know. And this card is really good. It gets rid of your opponent's Lord Slugs or Poutine. And if they kill it, again, you can recycle. So a one-off, it's pretty good. You don't need to clot the deck with more than this. Then for the new cards of Sec 16, we're playing 3 Trunks. This might go up to 4. This Trunks is so good. If you have 8 cards in your warp, you pay 2 black, and you can play him from your warp. And he's a dual attack, 20k. And every time he swings, you move 3 black battle cards from your warp to your drop area. So in one turn, if you don't have absolutely anything in your drop area and you need to overwhelm, you go ahead, you pay 2. He has deflect, so he can't be counter on counter window 1. They can do other stuff to it, but it doesn't really matter. You don't mind paying 2 energy, especially when your awaken is on tap 2. So usually turn 4, I'm playing this and awakening my leader, and if they get rid of it and I have another one in the drop, I can just play another one. Important to know, this card removes from the game if it gets killed, or if anything happens to this card and it gets moved from the battle area by a swing or whatever, he gets removed from the game. It's called balancing, and I'm glad they did that because this card is super busted. And then for the SCR of the deck and the star of the show, we have our Supreme Kai of Time, Brainwash. This card is what makes the deck tick so hard. If you have 3 or more energy, you pay 1 black active battle, and you get to play her. She is a 40k with Servant and Double Strike. Important to know, this card does not leave the field after you have if she gets removed like the other cards. And then active main battle, you can pay 1, and your opponent, if he wants to swing with battle cards, he has to crit a life, and that effect will remove her from the game. That effect comes in so clutch when your opponent's at 1 life, because you can go so wide with this deck that you will bring down your opponent at 1. Stall decks like yellow will survive a little bit more, and it's a little bit more complicated, but you want to be recycling this card as much as possible. And again, she's a god card, that's important. So for our spice, we're playing off color, we're playing green and blue. We're playing 3 of the 1-star ball. I only put this one in because it was the easiest green card I could find that wouldn't clog my hand. But this is actually gonna be swapped for the 1-drop Gohan, 1 energy, blue, green energy. On swing, he can crit if you take a life. Because again, people will leave you at 6 and 5 life. So ways to self-awaken are really good, and the fact that he's only a 1 energy, it's really good. So we're gonna change this to that 1-drop Gohan. And then we're playing 3 pretty black holes. We're playing 3 Sensu beans, 3 great priest, and 2 universal leaders. This card searches any card with Supreme Kai on the name. You heard right. Yeah, you can search your secret rare, your super combos, and your negates with this card. Really good at 2. Again, you recycle. There's ways to get them back. So this card is really good if you don't see your SCR. If you saw your SCR and you don't need this card and you don't need it, you can charge it for blue energy. The green package, pretty black hole. This package is specific for this card, right? Because she has Servant, she doesn't restand at the start of your next turn. So what we're going to be doing is either killing her with Pretty Black Hole, which for 1 energy negates the attack of your opponent. You KO one of your battle cards, and whatever cost that battle card had, you get to kill the enemy board. So let's say they have 8 costs in total between 4 cards and they don't have barrier. You do this combo, when they swing with their leader, you wipe their board and she goes to the drop. Again, she doesn't get removed from the game, which is pretty naughty. And then on your next turn, you do your leader effect, burst 3, you grab her back, and you're swinging again for 50 double strike. Grand Priest, remember when I was consecutively saying it's important because they're gods, right? They're non-priest gods. So this card, for 1 blue energy, you bounce 2 of your non-priest god cards. So you have this target and all the other targets that we mentioned earlier. You bounce them to your hand, and he's a 20k critical. Puts so much pressure because we're playing blue. Might as well play Sensubin. It's the most logical thing to do. And the fact that you can cycle so much with this deck, it's insane. Been testing for a long time, for like a week and a half. I have a different variant of this deck, but I think this deck is really, really good. It's really solid. It puts so much pressure, and your opponent will be very impressed with the things you're doing. So I hope you guys like the deck. I really hope you guys tried the deck. It's a 60 card deck. Some people are going to tell me I'm crazy, but once you test and you start playing around with it a little bit, you'll see why it's at 60. You're going to be bursting so much that you need 60 cards in your deck. In testing multiple times, we're running out of cards in the deck by turn 4, which is incredible that you can cycle and see that many cards from your deck in one go. So I hope you guys like the profile. Super excited for the new set coming out, and black is going to be in a really good spot. I was actually going to build the new Trunks deck, but Eric Hill did an amazing job this past week putting up content. So shout out to him. I will actually leave his video on the description, so you guys can watch it. He has some gameplay and whatnot, so go check him out. Really cool guy. He's been putting a lot of work on that deck, so I was like, okay, so he's doing that, I'm gonna try something different. Been having a lot of fun, so I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys are excited for what's coming next, and we'll see you guys next time.